The Rega Planar One is the turntable that more audio journalists and independent reviewers point to when someone asks where a serious vinyl journey should begin than any other machine at its price. What Hi-Fi gave it 5 stars and a What Hi-Fi Awards win. Trusted reviews called it highly recommended, and Stereophile listed it as a recommended component. The Rega Planar One comes in at around $475 to $500 at authorized dealers across the United States. That price puts it at the top of the entry-level category and the bottom of the serious audiophile tier. Rega was founded in Southend-on-Sea, England in 1973 and has been building turntables exclusively for over 50 years. Over 2,000 Rega turntables leave their factory every month. The Planar One is the entry point into the Rega lineup, but it is built on the same engineering philosophy as the Planar 10 that costs over $6,000. Rega's conviction is that a turntable should be as light, as rigid, and as free from unnecessary mass as possible. The plinth is made from phenolic resin that is lightweight, rigid, and resistant to the resonances that affect cheaper MDF-based designs. Rega has been refining this material and the plinth geometry through multiple generations of the design. The platter is made from phenolic resin and is thicker and heavier around the outer edge to create a flywheel effect that helps maintain consistent rotational speed. This is more sophisticated than the flat aluminum or plastic platters found on competing entry-level machines. The RB100 tonearm is Rega's own design, manufactured in-house using patent-pending ultra-low friction bearings. The fact that Rega makes their own tonearms rather than sourcing from third-party suppliers is a meaningful quality advantage at this price. The carbon cartridge ships pre-mounted and pre-aligned on the arm, which means setup requires no cartridge alignment tools or tracking force calibration. Future Audiophile praised this as providing simple and hassle-free setup with no need for fancy tools. The carbon cartridge uses a carbon cantilever that is stiffer and lighter than the aluminum cantilevers on competing entry-level cartridges. This means it responds more accurately to fine groove modulations and retrieves more musical information from the record. The 24-volt low-noise brushless motor drives the platter through Rega's proprietary EBLT drive belt, designed to minimize speed variation. The same motor is used across the Planar 1, Planar 2, and Planar 3. The brass main bearing on which the platter spins reduces friction, maintains platter stability, and lasts for decades without degradation. It reflects Rega's commitment to precision engineering at every price point. Speed switching between 33 1/3 and 45 RPM is handled by manually moving the drive belt between 2 positions on the motor pulley. This takes about 10 seconds and is a deliberate choice to keep the motor circuit as noise-free as possible. The minimalist aesthetic is immediately recognizable as a Rega product and has barely changed across multiple generations. Available in black, white, and a red limited edition, the Planar One looks deliberately understated. Setup from unboxing to first record takes approximately 15 minutes and requires only attaching the counterbalance weight, placing the plotter, fitting the belt, and lowering the dust cover. Audio advice describes the process simply as unpack and plug in. The dust cover attaches to hinges at the rear of the plinth, opens to a full 90 degrees for easy record access, and closes to protect the mechanism between sessions. The hinges are robust, and the cover is clear acrylic. The Planar One has no built-in phono stage and requires a separate phono preamplifier or an amplifier with a phono input. This is the correct decision because a built-in stage at this price would compromise either cost or sound quality. The RCA output cables are hardwired to the turntable rather than detachable, eliminating a connector junction and simplifying the signal path. The cables terminate in standard RCA plugs, compatible with any phono stage or phono-equipped amplifier. Trusted Reviews describes the sound as dynamic, detailed, and with impeccable timing, noting that treble has real snap, while the RB100 arm digs out extra bass depth. That combination of dynamics, detail, and timing is the sonic signature Rega has built their reputation around. What Hi-Fi describes it as a sprightly, entertaining turntable with no obvious flaws that presents everything with energy and engagement. It does not flatter music, but makes you want to keep playing records. Future Audiophile tested the Planar One in their reference system for 3 years and reported the upgrade desire that initially motivated the purchase never materialized. That long-term satisfaction from a reviewer with access to more expensive equipment is a meaningful endorsement. Stereophile listed the Planar One as a recommended component and called it a no-brainer, reflecting the consensus that at its price, it has no meaningful competition. Hi-Fi Plus gave it a highly commended product award. The soundstage is wider and more three-dimensional than competing entry-level machines, a consequence of the low-noise motor, precision bearing, and RB100 arm working together. These components extract more spatial information from the groove than noisier designs can access. Vocal reproduction is a particular strength, with Hi-Fi Plus noting the lean, tight, lithe and lively Rega sound. Voices sound natural, present, and clearly positioned rather than smeared or vague. Bass response is controlled and defined rather than bloated or emphasized, suiting acoustic music, jazz, and classical recordings with particular accuracy. Bass-heavy music sounds muscular and precise rather than warm and colored. The Performance Pack upgrade includes Rega's Bias 2 moving magnet cartridge, an upgrade drive belt, and a natural wool turntable mat. This allows you to meaningfully improve the Planar One's performance at a later date without replacing the machine. The carbon cartridge's stylus is user-replaceable after approximately 500 hours of playing time. Replacement styli simply snap on without tools and are widely available at affordable prices.
The footprint measures 17.59 inches by 14.17 inches and fits on any standard audio rack shelf. The machine weighs approximately 5.5 kilograms. Rega's manufacturing is entirely UK-based, and every Planar One is individually checked before leaving the factory. This quality control commitment is not possible for mass-produced turntables from larger consumer electronics companies. The Planar One Plus is an alternative version with a built-in phono stage for simpler connection to powered speakers. Tom's Guide reviewed the Plus and called it the ultimate starter turntable with excellent sound. The most frequently cited limitation is the manual speed change, requiring physical belt movement rather than an electronic switch. Buyers who play a lot of 45 RPM singles should be aware of this before purchasing. The second limitation is the absent phono stage, which adds cost and requires an additional purchasing decision. However, this is also why the Planar One sounds better than competitors that include built-in stages, because the cleaner signal path and better allocated budget produce superior mechanical performance.
The Rega Planar One is the turntable that What Hi-Fi, Trusted Reviews, Stereophile, Future Audiophile, and Hi-Fi Plus all agree on. At around $475 to $500, it delivers a musical experience satisfying enough to eliminate the upgrade desire for years. The Amazon link is in the description below.